Camera. Almost dead. And I realized it wasn't on. Oops. I just realized that I don't think I ever filmed an intro to this entire vlog. But I think I started vlogging this week. The beginning of it was on last night, Tuesday night. I have to stay awake until 11. My aunt is dropping something off for me on her way to the airport. But she's not gonna get here until 11. You guys, I'm an old grandma. I volunteered to stay up until 11. But I'm an old grandma. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. And I also got a migraine tonight. But I think it's going away. I took some Tylenol and I'm drinking caffeine, so I think it's going away, which is nice. But I don't know how I'm gonna do this. It's currently 8:43. And I'm dying already. Oh, it's not even 9 o'clock yet. What the heck? I think I'm gonna read. My roommate's gonna be back in T-minus 30-ish minutes. Yeah. Maybe we'll read right now. Still reading lessons in chemistry because your girl reads slow apparently. Camera. Almost died. But it's okay. It is now 10:08. I'm gonna die. It's time. I'm gonna go get it from my aunt. And then I'm going to bed, so good night. So I ended up going to bed at like 11 p.m., midnight maybe, which is very late for me. If you know me, I am 100% a homebody and 100% an early bird and not a night owl. So that was late for me.
I've been working overtime like crazy, just to show you how I really feel. Haven't had a single day off duty, just to show you that my love is real. Do you even care when I say, oh baby, can you even?
Let's do this. I don't remember the last time I've recorded on my phone, but I've been laying in bed. I am in my bed and I don't want to get up and grab my camera, so it's gonna be the phone today. I have had a migraine. Well, okay, I feel like, I don't know if it's actually migraine. Maybe I'm just getting sick. But it's like all of the symptoms of a migraine, but then my head doesn't hurt. So like light sensitivity, can't talk. Nausea, my whole body hurts, but like my head doesn't hurt. Or if it does, it's like not really that I can notice it. So I don't know. I've just been kind of laying down for the last few hours and it seems like it's helped, but I haven't gotten up for a while, so we'll see how I feel once I get up. But yeah, I think I'm gonna start just doing like a weekly vlog type of thing, updating you guys randomly throughout the week. I've been watching other YouTubers and I really like the idea of just like picking up the camera randomly instead of just doing it on one day and trying to make my life look nice and pretty and stuff. Like, no, I'm just gonna pick it up randomly.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope.
I just finished an essay, or not finished it, I just finished working on an essay. And for the first time in I don't remember how long, I'm actually like not sure if it's gonna be any good. I'm just a little bit like not sure what path to take on this essay. So now we're all caught up. It is currently 8:39 on Wednesday, so we're all caught up now from the vlog. And I'm feeling a lot better than I did before. I just did not feel great at all earlier today. I'm feeling a lot better, which is nice. I was able to get a lot of stuff done, and I don't know, it's been pretty good. I earlier got up after a while and decided to make myself a little bit of a smoothie and get some work done. Yeah, it's my favorite time of the day. It's the time where I can just like do nothing all day long. So good. I'm currently making jicama fries, and I was in the process of making them. I put them in a slow cooker, and then I realized after like a few hours it wasn't on, so I wasted that much time. So I guess I'm just gonna wait for them to be done. Oops. Okay, weird angle, but two things. First off, today I got to wear a Honduras jersey, which was really exciting because there was an event on campus, which is so exciting because I feel like Honduras never gets, we never get anything. Like growing up, I just felt like there was not nearly like, there's just no representation. It's really exciting for me because I haven't been able to go back and visit that much. The last time I went was like 2 or 3 years ago now. And before that, it was like 9 years before that. Like, I just don't get a chance to go. And I'm hoping to go this summer again. But like, it just doesn't always happen, right? So having representation here is just like really, really important to me. So first off, that was just exciting. And then my family members brought me a bunch of stuff from like a little Honduran mercado around the area. They got me mantequilla, which is like, for those of you that don't know, I know it translates to butter. That's not what it is. It's like a cream kind of. Like, it's kind of like sour cream, but it's not. It's amazing. And then they got me some pan dulce, which is just like amazing. I'm so excited. It brings me back to my childhood. I remember going and visiting my dad all the time in Honduras and just like getting a chance to kind of be a part of that part of my family that I never really had gotten living in the US. And we used to go visit a lot, but you know, things changed and we just don't visit that often anymore. And when we do, it's just me that goes to visit, and I have a lot of memories, and it just heals my inner child. So I think I'm just gonna maybe eat one of these pan dulces and watch a show or something and just chill for the rest of the night. It's been a busy day. But I realized today, I did not know that it was Thursday. I genuinely thought it was Tuesday all day long until someone mentioned something about it being Thursday, and I was like, wait, what? Which is so exciting because the week is almost over. So I'm excited about that. Anyways, yeah.
Dreaming of you, dreaming of you, dreaming of you, dreaming of you.
Felt really good as a
Dreaming of you, I'm dreaming of you. What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love?
I feel like today has just been a really long day. Comfortable. I don't really have a good like chair in my dorm, so I just use this like random little chair here. I mean, it gets comfortable, but it's just not, I guess, the most ideal. Let me zoom in a little bit. I feel like today has just been a really long day, I guess. I kind of felt anxious all day, and I'm wondering if it's because I woke up a little bit later than I usually do. Something that is weird for me is that if I wake up, oh, I'm out of breath. This is what happens when I'm anxious. Like it's less of being anxious about anything in particular. Like I don't feel anxious, but it feels like my body is just like I have to be doing something, I have to be moving or something like that. And I feel like it might be a combination of the fact that I woke up a little bit later today. And sometimes when I wake up later, I'll have like those dreams. I'll be like kind of awake and kind of asleep. I'll be like in a different wave, like brainwave pattern at the time, and I get really vivid dreams that are just like stressful dreams for no reason. So that sometimes happens to me, and that's why I tend to wake up so early in the morning with an alarm, is because I have to kind of like wake myself up. Because I know that if I sleep in, no matter what, like it affects me unless I genuinely need that sleep. Which it's fine with me because I like waking up early, but I did decide to give myself like 30 extra minutes this morning to sleep, and I don't know if that was a good idea. But I don't feel like it's necessarily that either. I feel like my body just decided today wasn't going to be one of those days. And I also am wondering if I've been dealing with some allergies lately. And I get allergies, it's usually like, my nose kind of feels really sensitive and my eyes are itchy and all of that. But lately I've noticed that I feel some days when I wake up, I just feel like the whole day I just feel tired and my body just feels weak. And that happened a few days ago, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm getting sick, right? But then the next day I was totally fine. And so I was yesterday. I was totally fine yesterday. And what I did is I had taken some allergy medication in the morning. And today I was like, I don't think those were allergies, whatever. I was like, it probably just went away. It probably wasn't the medication. And it's back today. So I don't know if that's actually what it is or not, but I'm kind of curious now. So I think I'm going to start taking allergy meds like every other day and seeing, because I am genuinely curious if it's allergies or not. I don't know, we'll see. But this entire week has just really reminded me of my struggle with PMDD. So I know I've talked about this on the podcast before, but I don't know if I've talked about it on YouTube specifically. So some background, I guess. I have PMDD, which is premenstrual dysphoric disorder. It's PMS but worse, basically. It's like the best way to describe it. And for me, that portion of it is a lot of times things like headaches, nausea, um, and then lots and lots and lots and lots of anxiety, depression, just like mental health issues. And since it's PMDD, it is intensified. It usually starts around the 2 weeks before my period when I go into a different phase in my cycle. And then on my period, I'm usually okay. And then the week after my period, I kind of have to recover, right? So, like on my period, I'm like just okay. I'm still kind of recovering from that. So it ended up being around 3 out of the 4 weeks of the month I was dealing with like severe mental health issues and just struggling and bloating and stomach hurts and headaches and migraines and just like a bunch of different things. And about like, when was that? A year ago? Almost a year ago. I finally started to realize that it was PMDD. And I finally started to realize, like I knew I had PMDD, but I finally started to realize that I needed to do something about it. And I mean, there's a lot of natural ways to go about it. And there was also around a time period where I was seeing a lot of things online about talking about, like, oh, if you're on birth control, you don't know the real you. Or if you're on birth control, it's not natural. And all these different things, which for some people, maybe they do better not on birth control. Like, yeah, I get it. There's a lot of side effects. Like, but for me, birth control is supposed to help that, right? But I was like,
nope, I'm seeing all these things. Like, I just felt such this pressure and like worry and fear of like, is this gonna make it, like, am I not gonna be the real me then? So I didn't go on birth control, and I tried for so long to just like deal with it, and it was like I was just miserable. Maybe I would get one week in a month where I was like not necessarily miserable, but I was still like just exhausted from the 3 weeks before that. And it was just, I was just constantly miserable, constantly, anything that came up was like I couldn't process it. I was constantly at doctor's appointments trying to figure things out, and it was just really bad. And like even the people closest to me were like, "Oh yeah, like they knew that I had struggles." And it was like, yeah, like I felt like I had constant struggles. Like my point was never at a like my life was never at a point where I was just like me. Like I just didn't feel like myself. But I had been dealing with this for so long that I didn't even know what myself was, right? I had pandas disorder in 2019 and then recovering from that and then COVID, so of course we were all dealing with a lot of the struggles that came with that. And then after that, um we got back from COVID and then I started college, and so I had a bunch of stuff that came back from pandas disorder and learning, like getting rid of those learned responses, and I was just really struggling. And then I came back, and then the PMDD was a big issue, and during all of this time the PMDD was an issue, but there were other things that were going on that I was giving priority to. So once all of these other things were not an issue anymore, I realized like, hey, all of these other things are not an issue. Like Pandas is gone, COVID, we're not in isolation anymore, all these different things, and I was still struggling the same way I had been before. And I was like, what the heck, And we finally figured out it's got to be the PMDD. So I went back on birth control. I had been once upon a time, and I went back on birth control, and you guys, I kid you not, within a month, the next month, it was like, oh my God, I'm not suffering. It was weird. I genuinely was shocked. And this was probably around the end of the summer. And even at this point, it was probably like September, honestly. And I was just like absolutely shocked about this. I was like, what the heck? Like, I didn't know it was possible to feel this way. And then the next month came and it was still good. And the next month, and every month it got a little bit better because my body got more used to the birth control, and it became my norm to not be struggling 24/7, to the point where I realized that even moments where I didn't like feel like I was dealing with the PMDD, it was still affecting me. Like my every single waking moment, I couldn't process things the same anymore. Like I couldn't process things. I couldn't eat a bunch of the same foods that I had been eating before because of how bad my body, like my hormones were just so out of whack. And that's just how my body is. And it sucks that I finally came to terms with the fact that, like, I tried everything, and the only thing that ever worked was being on birth control. And so I wanted to talk about that on here because I feel like it's something that I I struggled so much having PMDD, and people don't talk about it that much, and also it's not researched that much. And also, people really have strong opinions about birth control, which is fine for you, but just because something works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for someone else, and vice versa. Just because something doesn't work for you doesn't mean it's not going to work for someone else. And I think that really changed my mindset on it a lot, was once I got on birth control and realized it, I was like, oh, like just because this didn't work for other people doesn't mean, like, just because other people felt like they didn't know the real them when they were on birth control, it's the opposite for me, actually. I feel like I did not know the real me when I wasn't on birth control because my PMDD was so bad. And the moment, like, once I've been on the birth control, I am just amazed at how me I feel, at how calm I feel. And so that's what I've been, I guess, just reflecting on this week is I've been so, like, there's been a lot of stuff going on this week that a year ago, even a few months ago, before my body got as used to it as it is, like my response would have been catastrophic. Like I would have had to skip my classes. I would have had to just like completely stop. I would have had to, like, for example, I think I talk about in one of my podcast episodes that I have pre-recorded. I don't know when it's going to be out, but I think I was talking about like my apartment hunting, and some things just didn't go as planned. And like I genuinely would have been out of classes. I know if that had happened a year earlier because of how much it would have impacted me mentally and physically from having even just that amount of stress come into it. So I think that it's interesting. I've just been, I guess, reflecting this week of like, okay, like today I'm feeling maybe just a little bit more anxious or a little bit more like, ooh, I don't know what to do. And like giving myself that grace, and also just it's been so kind of I guess rewarding to look back and be like, hey, like I can have a bad day. Like before, my bad days were like medically bad days, and now it's like I can have a bad day and I realize that this is human. I never knew what a bad day was before because it was always stemming from something that was medical that like I needed to get fixed or like to help. And now it's like I'm realizing, I guess, what it means to be human. Like I'm realizing that having bad days is okay because that's just partly human. Anyway, today was not a bad day. Like it's been a great day actually. Just like having some anxiety doesn't mean that there's something completely wrong or that I need to get something fixed. I guess it's just been really like even though I just am like out of breath all day long because of whatever weird response my body is having to this season of change. I am just like so grateful because I'm like, wow, like before it would have been a lot worse. This exact change would have been really worse and I would have had to stay home today. So I don't know. I've just been really, I guess, looking back on that and really grateful for where I've come and reflecting on the past and just reflecting on who I am today and the way that, having the ability to be my true self without the PMDD affecting me as much. It still affects me, but only like 2 days out of the month instead of 3 weeks, which is amazing to me. And without having to deal with that, there's so much more open space to explore. One way to show how bad it was like before I got my PMDD under control, I was really scared that I wasn't even going to be able to finish college. And now, after I got my PMDD under control, within probably like 2 months of going on birth control, I declared a double major and started taking the podcast more seriously, where I put things out every single week, sometimes multiple times per week on the YouTube. And I started the YouTube in general. Like it's been shocking to me that something that it was just like one answer. I just needed to get on that medication, my birth control that I had been refusing to do for so long because I was afraid of what other people would say. So that's just my little ramble today, my little life talk today, and something that I've been thinking about is like the way that things change, the way that life just yeah, like it's just so interesting to look at my life a year ago and see it now and be like, wow. I gotta get my snack. This is a peanut butter banana with dark chocolate Cliff Bar. Oh, that's good. My roommate gave this to me. I decided I would eat it as a snack, and right now I deserve a snack. I'm gonna be going, let's see, some updates on life. But I don't, every time I sit down to vlog, I'm like, am I doing this right? I have no idea how to vlog, but I've kind of been enjoying it lately. The idea of like, I said this earlier, I think, but the idea of just like picking up the camera every so often throughout the week and like giving little life updates. But it feels more like sitting down and actually having a conversation and talking instead of like curating one day to be like, I'm gonna make it aesthetic or like, here's my day in the life. Like, you guys don't want to see my entire day in the life. Like, a lot of it is just cleaning and stuff and being in classes. But kind of just sitting down randomly and picking up the camera and romanticizing life a little, but then also having the real life conversations of like, what's my life been like this week? I don't know. I feel like those are the kind of vlogs that I prefer to watch, so I guess I just assume that it's the same way for other people. It's Friday, and I have to go home for Easter this weekend. All of my family is going to be home this weekend, so I decided I'll go back, even though I've been home the last 2 weekends too. So this is the third weekend in a row that I'm going home, which is just like, I love seeing my family, but it's been a lot to be going back and forth and back and forth. It's like something that I just struggle with too. Like if it's just a weekend, it's fine, but just moving back and forth all the time, it drains you. I'm really excited to go back, but I am definitely like, yeah, I need a break. But I will be getting a break soon. We're going to be going to Texas, which is very exciting, which is, again, the whole family. We've had it, like, planned for, like, a year, though. And it's going to be really nice because I have been looking forward to it for a while, and I think it's going to be the break that I need of, like, okay, we travel, and then we get to stay for a while. Like, this has been, I travel 2 days, I come back, I have a bunch of classes, I have to get stuff figured out, and then I travel 2 days again for the weekend, and it's going to be nice because I have, like, okay, I have a break, which is, I really need it. So I have to pack. I have most of my packing done already. I just have to finish up a few things there. And then I think I might spend the rest of the afternoon. I don't know, maybe I'll work on some editing, or it would be kind of fun to edit this vlog tonight or this afternoon actually. I might go to a coffee shop and edit some stuff. And then, yeah, I might just work on some stuff. I might just chill for a little bit. I don't know, I think it's going to be a pretty chill afternoon. So I think I'll take you guys along on that. And then that'll probably be the end of the vlog because it's the end of the week. Yeah, it's going to be good.
No, not like yours.